Welcome to the Traders Show. This show is brought to you by Pepperstone. Pepperstone is an award-winning online global forex and CFD broker. It offers unparalleled service, exceptional pricing, and fast execution speed. Pepperstone gives you access into the global markets with more trading opportunities, first-class customer service, and peace of mind. Withdrawals are quick, and for those in Kenya, M-Pesa is enabled. Pepperstone Markets is regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. To open an account with Pepperstone, you can click the links on the descriptions below. Hello traders, welcome back to another episode of the Traders Show. So this is episode 6, season 2, and today we're going to talk about a very interesting and general topic about trading. What we wish we knew before we started trading. We thought about it and we said there are some things which if you knew, you would have handled things quite differently. And we want to shed some light on some of the things which if we knew, we would probably be somewhere else or doing something better, or our progress would have been faster. Certain things just would have been better. Let's go back to your starting days, your early days of trading.
That's a shift, man.
I'm taking you guys
from war back to trading.
I'm taking you guys on a therapy session. 6 years down the line, you guys have been doing this for 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You've had successes here and there, you've had failures here and there. You're still developing. I wouldn't say
more failures than success.
Okay, that would also be true. You're still developing. The market is still developing actually here in Kenya, but we're not focused on that now. We're focused on your personal trading. If you sit down and reflect on that day when you were told about trading, or like for me, I like pointing out the day I decided to leave school and focus on trading full time. If you had sat down with someone who's been doing this for 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Me sat down with someone.
Okay, you did. Me, I never did.
So I didn't have anyone.
But if you had sat down with someone, or if you were to sit down with someone now, 6 years later, this person has dropped out of school, they're starting out their trading journey. What would you tell them?
So I had many points coming into this topic here. Like, I'll answer your question just now. So I have four things.
Four main things.
What I wish I knew while starting, that's the topic of today.
Yeah.
What I'm glad I knew. Okay.
There's some things you're glad you knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's what you wish you knew. You didn't know them. There's what I'm glad I knew. Okay. Which I have some pointers on them. You'll see them. What I wish I did not know and actually did not know. Have you gotten that point?
Yeah.
What I wish I did not know and actually did not know.
Because of the point.
Like what we keep joking about. I didn't know about it. So it's good I didn't know. And then last but not least, what I know now that I know 5 years later, I will say at least I knew that rather than wishing. So I've at least two or three points on each of those things.
Let's start with the first one then.
But
I think you've actually
to the
given
topic,
us a very good layout
outline
that you can use, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll share that. They're quite interesting ones. But like what I wish I knew starting off, or what I wish I was told starting off, two things. I have a couple of things, but the first two things. Money comes last and risk management is very crucial while starting off. Okay. Money comes last in the fact that everyone enters forex with the aim of making money. Okay, and it's normal. You'll come to discover later on that it's not money that comes first. There's a lot of things you need to know first. Understanding yourself, understanding human psychology, understanding risk management. That's why I'm saying that together with risk management. Because what I wish I knew about risk management, if we knew it earlier on, we wouldn't enter trading putting crazy risk. We could have survived with the first few accounts we had, because we blew a lot of losing money. Okay, not understanding risk. But if someone guided me, like that's what we're doing with the students right now. Most of the main things you're teaching them: position size properly, put this amount, don't enter stupidly. Like the person you're saying was a student, I want to mention the names. He said he didn't know about what he said. Kumbe kuna risk in this market.
This guy told me that was one of the best classes by the I've ever had, because this guy just told me, listen, you guys are doing one of the most amazing jobs. Because after he went through the course layout, and he thought about if he would ever come to understand some things, and he just told me it would take me years to like he even said, if you guys have taught yourself these things, I respect you. Because nimejaribu hii kitu na sikuwa najua, like I was lost. So the guy basically just knew about trading, went into YouTube, searched a video 1 or 2 and started trading. So he never knew about position sizing, about risk management, about psychology, about developing a strategy, about losses and wins. Like he never knew anything. He just knew you could make money off this, and the right way to do it is to buy or either sell.
That's the only thing you can do.
That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
And he lost so much money, over 100,000, just playing that game. He would deposit, lose. He'd deposit, lose. He'd deposit, lose. And then he was actually telling me he listens to these podcasts and he wonders, are these guys reading my mind? Like all these guys, all these things we say is what I basically do, or is what I've basically done. So I've lost money out of ignorance. So he never knew really how to go about it. So what was your question?
Yeah, I was talking about the part of risk management. He told you something like after he bought our book.
Yeah, after he bought our book, he actually opened the
Part of risk.
No, the table of contents. Hey, he saw risk management. He was surprised. Allah, kuna risk kumbe kwa hii kitu. Hata sikuwa najua kuna risk. Like he never knew there's risk. Like he knew you just trade. Like there's no risk. He never even thought he's losing money because of risk, man. No. Risk hata ako anajua ana take any risk yeye. Yeah, anajua tu ana trade.
Yeah.
And I trade. So he went through it and then he was reading and then he was wondering, wow. So there's a way to trade that you lose, but you don't lose everything.
Exactly. And now that was my point. I wish we understood that starting off. You see now as we've guided him, okay, he's already lost a couple.
Yeah.
But he's still in a good place of moving forward such that now you know if I have $500, I can take a $50 risk.
Okay.
You're only risking a small amount. You're not going to lose all of your money. And $50 is also big, which is 10%. But as much as you're trading, you're going to make minimal losses that won't take you out of business. And at the same time, what I was saying, money comes last. At the end of the day, like right now, we're not even chasing money.
Yeah.
Look what we're talking about. We're talking about understanding fundamentals, how it's affecting the market, history of how it has always performed. By understanding all that, in future, we're going to understand how to position ourselves in those positions. Because what is like what I keep telling you guys, what's the definition of being wise and being foolish? Being wise is you have knowledge, you understand it, and you apply it. Okay? What is being foolish? You don't have knowledge, you have the courtesy to go and apply it. My friend, you're very foolish. You don't know anything, but you're applying it.
What if you know something, but you're not applying it?
But you can know a lot of things and not apply.
That's indiscipline.
Yeah.
That's indiscipline. Yeah. Not applying what you know.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. That's
okay,
indiscipline.
it can be. Yeah. But back to my point, definition of foolishness. You don't know nothing, but you're applying it. And of course, it's like what you're saying with a lot of politicians. Unajuanga hasa unaangalia huku mbele unasema, umse ni fala, stupid, what is he doing? True. This guy doesn't know nothing, but he's applying. What we're seeing a lot of things with, not to get into politics, but Sonko. A few things used to do like, hey, umse,
how is he applying some strategy?
What is he doing? But anyway, on a light note. But yeah, that was to my first point. Let me not get deep into it because we've talked about a lot. But yeah, money comes last and risk management is vital starting out.
For me, I can say I wish I knew that I'm getting into a jungle. Basically, like, it won't just be an easy path whereby you do A plus B is equals to C and 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. So, and I think it was basically from ignorance, because ignorance you know you should do that but you're not doing it. You have
really ignorance is not knowing. I feel like ignorance is actually
ignorance
not knowing.
is not knowing.
But like ignorance is basically
it's like ignorance, like you know something, Caleb can help you, but you're ignoring me because
exactly. But I know you can help me, but I ignore your stuff. You see, if I don't know, how am I ignoring it?
That's not true. You don't know.
Yeah. So I believe for me it was the fact that I was a bit ignorant about what it takes to be a trader. Basically, we thought it was just about reading a book or two,
starting to
money
trade.
And starting to trade.
You are naive about what it takes to trade.
And also, looking back at it, it's something, yes, I wish I knew, but for now, how I understand how life works is we all know that wishes don't work. See, so this is sort of like just a flashback. Okay, not a flashback, but retrospecting. So for me, I've come to, if I'm starting out, I tell myself, Taras, be prepared not for success, but for failure, but learn from your failures to get that success. For me, it was the opposite. I thought it was just, I learn and get success. So I didn't know there was that failure first. Like I didn't know there was a period whereby 2-3 years I will just be failing and jumping from this to this, trying this, it doesn't work, trying the other one, maybe it works for some few days, few months, in a kata tena you move to another thing. So I think I underestimated, not even underestimated, I didn't know like there's that high probability of you failing in the business. Because it was also at a point whereby we got into trading by sitting with bankers and stuff. Basically, tulianzanga tu kwa tukionanga some guys living good life and stuff, and you were like, okay,
enticed.
Yeah, this business looks good. But that was just a face value of the business. You don't know what it takes to make the business become good. So I think for me, it's just that point on understand that you will fail, and embrace your failures, love your failures, don't shy away from your failures. And if you do all that, maybe, as you always say, you can have a ghost of a chance now to be successful in the market. So basically for me, it was just like, I didn't know I'd fail a lot. And I did fail a lot of times. And from all those failures, they come with lessons. And that is a good thing about trading.
That's the gem.
Exactly. So in as much as you fail, take it positively. If you blow account, don't think of yourself as a loser or like such mentality. You see, you blow your account and you become rational. You become kwa tu mse rational. Jua kwanza hii ni pesa. Hii si life hata umepoteza kwanza. It's just money. See.
Wengine ni deni.
It's just money. You see. There is more to that. Like I've umesema tu, there is more to money that even in trading you need. Before you even need money to trade, you need first of all to invest time. Kuangalia tu chart, maybe una need pesa ya wifi. But ku break down markets ukianza ku trade. I was telling Juicy kwa the trading meetings we have with our team. As a new trader, una focus nini on risk management? Your focus should be on idea generation. How do you generate
understanding
ideas?
the system?
Understand the markets. Understand the market ina move aje. Which levels are important? Which levels reject? Which levels are market spikes? Which level is a high probability? Like which pattern is a high probability pattern? Hizo ndio inafai kuwa your first job. Actually the first 1 year. Me I spent a lot of time niki analyzing two charts. Ka account yangu ya $150. See, and that thing for me was I can say it was one of the best way I learned how to trade. So plan could trade na nisemanga hapa $1,000. I didn't have it. It was basically learning to trade more chart time and like a small account too yaku stuff ina work kama hai work. So that small account and chart work. So for me, and I think this is the point you're saying, at least you knew. Me, I knew the value. Like I knew I needed to improve my, like I knew I needed to work on chart time. You and I did out. At the charts now as work. For me to get to the point where by now I may simplify my system that much, it was all about looking at markets. Like kuangalia two charts. So for me that I think for most of us, we've been enthusiasts of analysis. We've been analyzing markets for long. That is even why we do Zoom sessions for free. And because the analysis is
content for free.
Yeah, see at you mtaka kwambia analysis. Utaamka useme ati yes tuna analyze nini leo. Kwambia tu size breakdown a market for me, you will do it because you've done it over 10,000 times or years. So for me I think that was what I knew.
You wish you knew. Oh, you knew.
What I wish I knew is the failures will be the many failures which will be on the way. But such things like market analysis. Then also, but I think that will come on the next point. You can go on.
So for me, if I just look back about those number of years when you started trading, I think first of all I was very, very naive, which happens to be the case for very many people. You just enter online, you see people doing one or two things, and then you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do. But if, and I think people will also misquote this and think that I'm probably marketing, or I'm probably saying this because I'm in that business or that. So I don't really care about that perception, because I've thought about it. But if I say this, but I wish there were people in Kenya who are doing what you're currently doing.
At that time?
At that time. I feel like that would cut the journey so much if I focused on following those things. I'm not saying I'd understand how to trade in a month or two. But at least if someone came and told me, listen, this game is 90% psychological, not technical. This game is 60%, 70% risk management, not chat time. You should invest this number of hours on chat time. Don't focus so much on indicators. Instead, focus on these price action patterns. If we had people doing what we are doing today, I think I would understand how to trade faster. But I've also thought about the cost of that. What would happen on the flip side? I don't think I'd learn as much as I've learned on my own.
Exactly.
And just to add on that point, and I like always using that emphasis on that point you're saying. It's the same thing we like saying when you have a compass. Ukipatia mse compass atatoka up in the North Pole straight.
Bas.
Okay? But mtuana compass ataenda down apite South Pole na bado ataenda around afike North Pole. But the thing these guys gathered along the way are much more than this other guy who just went straight to leather gather.
Exactly. You get.
Because this person knows a lot of what not to do.
Bas.
Which this person just knows what to do. But kuna hizo uncertainties that he'll face along the way.
Exactly. So if I just go on, like, it's precisely what you've said. Like, yes, I know my journey has been more difficult, has taken more time, but I'm sure that is also, it comes at a cost. Like the fact that I'm selling to you maybe a course for a certain price. Yes, I'm shortening your curve, but it comes at a cost. There are things which you won't learn, which I learned.
True. Like, for example, like in our course, we don't focus on all the indicators we've ever used in life. I also know why Taras is using this, why me I'm not using this. Because we've tested all MACD, parabolic, stochastics, RSI, ATR, all of them.
All of that, we've done it. And we came to the conclusion that this is what works for me.
Exactly.
So, as much as I'm saying yes, but the reason I'm saying I wish someone like me would be there is, I feel like if someone told me, focus more on psychology, read these books, go deeper into these pages, look at these opportunities. Like if I had that roadmap, things would have been easier. Like it would have been easier for me to navigate, rather because I'd have now that compass. Okay, you're moving from here to the North Pole. Just follow this track all the way to the North Pole. But now I didn't have a compass. I know the North Pole is, I don't even know where it is. I'm even looking for that North Pole.
Exactly.
So I'm lost completely.
You're totally lost.
Exactly.
Now you have all these ways to go.
All these ways to go.
And that's the same thing with content. There's everything online. You don't know what to focus on.
I don't know what to focus on. So if people out there would be like that, because we've met people again who've done trading for quite some time. Like you hear someone has done trading for 11 years, 12 years, and you wonder, okay, why are you so hidden? Why are you not out there sharing with people what you're doing and how they can do it better? And you know it's a very difficult journey. So I feel like if someone would come out back then and share with us, this is how to navigate, this is how to handle different things, I think I'd be somewhere better rather than where I am. But there's some things which I wouldn't have learned. So it's a binary thing. You have to think about. I think what you have, exactly, you have to think about
for sure.
Time versus learning. That's the trade-off. Like, are you more interested in reaching there faster, or are you more interested in reaching there but after learning more? So I don't know. You get my point, yeah. That you have to put it on a weighing scale. Which side are you willing to pursue? It's a dilemma, yeah. You really have to think about it. But I think that's what I'd say the first thing. Like, if there are people out there, because I always share with people like what we do. Like I remember, like if I show people how I trade, like most people just tell me, wow, this brings some order into my trading. Like if you're just told journal your trades in a particular way, like the way you show people how to journal, how to do the post-mortem, how to follow up, Like if you're told those things from the starting point,
those things will really help.
they will really help you. You get, if you followed them. But there's a high chance by the even when you tell these people these things, they won't do them
Because they don't know the importance of
them.
it.
Exactly. So if there was someone out there who was doing that would be better. But I feel like books were very helpful, and at some point, books were those people only that I didn't interact with them physically. Because I feel like someone like Jack Swagger, all the Market Wizard series, I read them not once, not twice, a couple of times, and I feel those people made me understand really how markets work, like what it really takes to succeed. There's some things which are unconscious, they don't just appear, but there are some things which I do now, and I'm like, okay, now I understand why some things just go this way. So bringing out that awareness of this is why something is happening, or this is why something else is happening, is also quite important.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think on my last point on that, because I have more points now on the other topics I said, but just to finish on this one, the couple of things I wish I knew in terms of, let me just point them out. Backtesting.
That's one. Also, me, I'm with you 100%. Because we started trading everywhere.
Exactly. Because you go read something, umekuja kwanza unaweka live money.
Ushaanza.
On that point, me, I also feel like it's sort of, you can't just cheat the way of a trader, like the journey of a trader. You see?
In terms of?
Because even ungelearn backtest or your week one of trading, you kusaidiaje?
No. I feel like if you, for me,
like first of all, you first even need to first fail. Do notice, okay, I need to backtest.
But look, check it. There was a guy, Pole too. There was a guy I know in Market Wizards. The new series, actually, the unknown one.
The unknown Market Wizards.
That guy spent 4 years on research without putting in any live money. Just researching to understand, first of all, how markets work. Like, ali backtest, akasoma vitabu, akaingia fundamentals. And he 4 years just doing the back work. And when he started trading live, he was very confident about what he was doing. Because he had spent that much time
that is okay.
understanding how markets work.
That person, his main objective, vile ulisema your first point, money comes last. That was his main objective. Money come last first. Sisi, we were still trying to make a living. We were trying to grow it.
But see, that's what we're saying.
Exactly.
If you knew, like Caleb said, if you knew money would come last, right? If you knew it can only come last, doesn't come first. If you knew,
you'll spend time now doing that.
Because I feel like part of the reason also we've gotten that light is what you're saying. I'm confident about my setups working. I'm confident that if I just follow certain rules, I'll make money. You get? That one I'm confident. Without that backtest, it's very hard for you to have that confidence, especially if your live trading is not working.
Exactly. And especially if you're just losing and losing and losing money.
Exactly.
You'll come to understand. So I think you guys have even said pointers on that, so I don't even need to dwell into it. So backtesting. The other one is not spending too much time on demo accounts. Demo accounts is useful in the terms of understanding how the platform works, executing trades. Usingie pia trader 4, MT4, and you're pressing one lot you don't even understand. At least understand the concepts of that, but don't stay on it and become very successful in it and think that's what's going. Now you're a good trader, because we had many of those moments. Hey, Caleb, I'm making money with demo. We're going to do the same reel. Reel is very different. So not spending too much time on it. At least having someone who can guide you, okay, do a couple of things here, but advance to the real account at a faster rate. Then the next thing, now once you get into a real account, don't dwell too much on the losses. Okay? Like, like you remember like the time you had the EJ account trade you held for so long. The one that you held, the money that remained, you went to coast with it. It was that trade, yeah. On the losses, don't dwell on it too much. Don't stay on it and think this is my fate. Like now, okay, I'm losing. Let me stay out for another 6 months. I'll come back whenever things are fine. Cut that loss.
Like don't personalize it.
Exactly. The most important trade is the next trade, not the one that has passed. The one that has passed, even if you made the biggest killing, that's not the most important. That's already in the past. Bank your dough. The biggest loss you've made, that's in the past. Lose your dough. What are you going to do next? So don't dwell on that too much.
And that's a good one. The most important trade is the next one.
The next one. Dwell on it. Focus on that. On that one, I had it by John Mellon. He was being interviewed on Chat with Traders. But he really emphasized on that. The most important trade is the next trade. And then the last point that I'll finish my point with, I wish I knew. I don't know if they existed back then, but I wish we knew more about prop firms.
Oh,
they did. I think they did.
They were?
Like in 2019 was some of them were launched.
yeah.
There are a couple of them, yeah?
Yeah.
And FTMO has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
I wish we had access to this because you tend to lose a lot of your money, which you can use other people's money.
To just learn.
To just learn and trade and make money as well. True. Yeah, instead of blowing your 500 like that, the guy you're saying, the one we were talking about, ameluzi do ameenda kwa bank tena amechukua do. Amelose, prop firm also gives you a guidance of how you're supposed to work in the market. They've given you risk parameters, returns you should make. You sort of start thinking professionally. Yeah. So just to finish off on those points, those were the things I wish I also knew back then.
I wish I knew. Another point is less is more. And less is more, and
that's so powerful.
You are not missing out on anything you had not planned for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
Kama hii Russia Ukraine, kama uko na trade, uacha nayo.
The biggest concern, the one you should even talk about is the Bitcoins going up. If you didn't know about it, don't start stressing that your friends have made money on it.
Because most times, the moment you just try to stress, ama kama saizi unasema fuck sasa hii moex. Kiingia saizi kwa moex bwana, maybe ndio inachapa bottom tena.
Exactly, true, true.
If a trade ama like let's say less is more first of all was in terms of the tools you use in the markets. You don't need to use. Me when I was starting out, I was using pivot points, moving averages, RSI, key levels, Fibonacci, a lot of
ATR
in the name of building confluence. Yeah. So in like markets, you need to develop yourself intuitively on how you view markets. Like you don't need hizo confluences mob. Kama mimi si lazima nione 61. Naweza ona hii move ni 61.8%. Si lazima tuna nikuje nijaze hiyo tool hapo niweke tena moving average sijui retouch. Like subconsciously tunajua this market has pulled back maybe to a certain 78%. Like I know this pullback is substantial.
True.
Maybe the trend can continue, such stuff. So less is more. First of all, you don't need to trade a lot of indicators. Two, you don't need to trade all markets. You don't need.
Which you can't. Because the MOEX, I'm sure many people have never heard of it.
Exactly.
I don't want to trade it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like today, there's a friend of mine. Let me just read this message. I won't say the name, but I'm exercising.
Bro, don't buy.
VP bro, hii tension iko Russia na Ukraine. Does it have any direct impact on forex trading? Kambia, yes, very much. Investment wise, when is the right time to buy? Sahi ama tension zikikul.
So that is a guy now who's trying to make money from geopolitics.
Exactly. So some things, if you've not planned on an investment, ama you just want to move into the bandwagon, most likely it won't work. Even if maybe it works, you can get in, but you'll make some money maybe on the move. After hold 10%, 20% down, pull backs again. So less is more. And my other point was less is more, and I said
I remember the less is more. The next one you said what?
So yeah, less is more. Ingine tutaikumbuka.
Okay. So for me, I think one thing that I'm still actually learning it, but I've thought about it is most people have psychological problems, but they think they'll solve them technically. There are two categories of losers in the markets. Like there are people who lose because they are primarily wrong in the markets. Like you're just poor at picking.
Idea generation is
like
poor.
You still don't understand how markets work. You're far away. I'm not talking about that guy. And I was there at some point. But now there's the next guy who's learned how markets work, who understands the value of patience, who understands the value of discipline, who understands the value of calculated risk-taking, who understands the less that he should be trading. But still he fails to follow through on some of these things.
He knows what he should do, but he's failing.
He's failing at following through.
In discipline.
Not really in discipline. I wouldn't say even it's in discipline. I feel like after thinking about it, it's not really in discipline. It's the nature of the markets. Trading is all about handling uncertainty and risk. And since you were born, you've been trained to only handle certainty and predictability. You've never been put in an environment where things are uncertain. And even those few times where things are uncertain, they didn't really matter that much, so you didn't care really what was happening. But now for the first time, you're in an environment where always there's uncertainty. And you're expected to function in that environment calmly, rationally, and well organized. If you understand how the human brain is structured, you are not designed to do that at all. You're designed, in fact, to look for certainty, to look for, to avoid risk. You're not
Risk averse.
Risk aversion. So if I knew, like, if I understood that some problems you won't solve them technically. If you make some decisions in the market and you keep on making them, don't think that as such and root tena kwa backtest and root it. Haitakusaidia. You're just trying. You're in denial. You must come back and think hard about, okay, psychologically, what work have I done? Or what have I done to improve myself psychologically as a trader? What sacrifices have you made? Yes, you've put in time on your screen time. You've taken time to learn about how markets work. But what have you done to adjust your frame of mind to think differently, to function differently than the guy who's on the other side?
Better.
Exactly. Most traders don't do that. If they lose, it's not psychological. They just say, hii system iko na shida, acha nirudi backtest. Entry zangu ziko na shida, exit zangu ziko na shida. No. Those things don't have any problem. The major problem is you as a person. And you have to work on your limiting beliefs. You have to work on your thinking, the way it's structured. You have to really train yourself to function in an environment where there's a lot of uncertainty. You have to train yourself not to rush on the sidelines. And these things, unfortunately, you can't learn them on a demo account. You have to lose some money to learn some of these things.
Feel the pain.
You have to feel the pain. If you understand that you have to go through the pain, like me, I remember, I lost until I got to a point whereby now losing was not even affecting me. Like it got to a point where I didn't care now anymore. If I was losing, it's okay. If I'm winning, it's okay. And now I understand, like, why someone like Gitosha, always you know akiwa euphoric kama akiwa sad. He had to adjust his brain to get to a point whereby making money or losing money haiko affect in any way. Uncertainty is part of you. Like you are now comfortable handling and functioning in that environment.
So if in an uncertain environment, the outcome of whatever decision you make should not affect you.
Exactly. And you should focus more on the process. Like when I was writing that, you remember the checklist I sent you for you to
print?
So when I was writing it, it's when it clicked in my mind that, you know, you have not been focusing on these things actually. You've been focusing on the wrong things. Because after a trade is done, I just go back and write, okay, Ken, here's your checklist. I have like 5 checklists. So I have an entry checklist, I have an exit checklist, I have a self-management checklist, and I have a risk checklist. So I always ask myself, 1, is this a pattern you trade? Did it align with your conferences? Was there a signal? Did it tick all these boxes? Like, did you check it ticked all these boxes? Next, on exits, did you exit at your pre-planned point? Did you watch a certain level that you had pointed out? Had you planned to handle this trade in this way? Next, risk. Are you trading at the level where you plan this risk is comfortable? Are you managing the trade in the right way? Did you scale in at the right time? Did you try and maximize? Did you cut your losses at the right time? Self-management. Did you mentally rehearse handling this trade? Are you in a position, like, if you do those things now, you're training yourself to move away from, did I lose money or make money too? Did I do these things? But most of us are not focused on, did I do these things?
Did he make or lose?
It's leo nimemake do, kesho nime lose, leo nimemake, kesho nime lose. So really, not many people work on their psychology. And that is where you should go harm.
Put in the work.
Put in the work. Most people don't fail at trading because walishindwa kuelewa technicals ama fundamentals. Most people fail at trading because walishindwa kumanage their minds not to do anything when there was nothing to do. That is where most people fail. Like, I was actually joking with one of my friends yesterday that one thing trading has taught me is most people, the biggest assignment you have or the biggest job you have is managing yourself. Because there's a 99.99 chance that you are the only obstacle standing between yourself and success. It's not your environment. It's you as a person. Because you're not committed to doing the right thing. If you're committed, you still have those days when you don't feel like doing it. You have many psychological issues which you have not resolved. You don't even know why you're emotional at sometimes. You create a plan which at the point of creating that plan you're not even committed to it.
Follow it.
Unajua ushaona mtu anaandika ushaifanya hiyo kitu mimi shai. Naandika plan najua sitafanya. Niko busy naandika tu. And I know deep down I'm not committed enough to ensure that I follow the plan. So those certain things will actually make you lose money, and you need now to train yourself to just focus on doing the right thing. And the right thing in the markets is to learn about yourself. Like invest time in understanding, okay, why am I so impatient? Why can't I just sit on my hands when there's nothing to do?
I think for me, on your point on psychology, I also comes up with psychology, but now for me I can say I didn't know these things.
It's doing them.
But I didn't know how difficult it is for you to be psychologically stable in the market. Because me, I read the best book on trading psychology, Mark Douglas. Kitambo, ilikuwa lini 2016 uko 17 bado.
But you didn't understand the book.
Uko na relate na. So exactly, point is that your psychology, how will you build your psychology?
By trading.
By trading and by losing money and learning from your failures. Exactly. You lose and you reflect. Okay, hii trade vile umesema tu umekuja uka checklist ukaona kumbe hata hii trade ilikuwa about indiscipline. Unaona? Unakuja una realize kumbe for me I'm an indisciplined person. Okay, sasa how do I work on discipline? Haya, unaongeza checklist unasema sasa hii patience hapa tunafaa kuongeza checklist zingine. So point is it's a work in progress. See if you teach psychology, right?
And I always tell people what you've just said. All these things that I'm teaching you, you have to lose money to learn them.
Exactly.
You have to go through the period where you're losing money for you to understand them.
Exactly.
Like you can't subconsciously always elewa vitu zingine.
But as you read that Mark Douglas unasema msana ananiambia ukweli fuck I'm doing this.
Exactly.
Say, right?
And you know, I was thinking about it. It's the way Richard Dennis was saying. In Market Wizards, he said it well. He said, you can print all the rules of trading on a newspaper. Print them. Mwambie wasendo hizi rules. Ukifuata hizi rules you make a fortune.
Success now.
But he assured Jack 90% hawezi fuata. Hawezi fuata hizo rules. Wataziweka kando. Like Lawi amesema by the way. Amesema vizuri. Me now I understand how difficult it is to be disciplined. Ukwa disciplined si kitu tu.
Because you also face those impulses of wanting to be indisciplined.
Ati unakuwa tu disciplined. When you see people like I was telling you, like it's a tiny percentage of people who can function in some environments. And there's a lot of pain in it. Like tukiwa chile talk ya Kipchoge, the reason you that talk made a lot of sense to you is because you saw what this guy is saying is what I'm basically like. I run whether it's raining, whether it's sunshine, I have to run.
True.
Wewe ukiona signal Ukraine umeacha system kwanza unatupa nje system sai work sai Ukraine Russia na Russia ndo tuna trade. So it's very difficult to be disciplined in the markets. It's so difficult to just stick to some simple rules, especially due to uncertainty, because even part of the reason like people are indisciplined is because they think hata nikifuata hizi rules zingine smaking it do.
Exactly. And my question is just before you move on.
Like what if no that test bure.
Yani nimengoja hii trade all these days. Bado nika lose. Hata hizi rules such as kae sasa. Acha nifanye vitu zingine.
Also, tumesema you are your own limiting factor in your trading. You personally as a trader. But also, do you think money is the limiting factor?
The fact that you're attached to money.
If today yes, markets yanze kutu reward differently. This is us now in a hypothetical world. In trading tunakuwa rewarded differently. In terms now of just following our plan. Atumake do. No. But at the end of the year, tuna award those guys who follow their plan.
Kuna award sasa. Who follow their plan? Hata kama kutengeneza do.
Hakuna kutengeneza do. Huko tu sasa ni yani
so hata ule mwenye alitengeneza the most money ni ule kutengeneza akufuata do. But now we are akufuata plan. But now we are rewarding who followed the plan.
Exactly. Maybe the guy who will be awarded maybe even asali lose but he followed his plan
everything.
I think sa trading inafasa uje yani vile ulisema tu money comes how your do bro like your stuff ni ngumu.
It's true it's hard.
Wait, trade yako moja bro ni $1,000 at risk utaisahau aje
Bana usahau $1,000
and it's going increasing.
So the fact that the money aspect in trading tungeambiwa tu sasa tunalipwa for being disciplined. Mimi ningekuwa namkanga tu asubuhi kama kuna magnet nenda kazi zangu
hauna pressure.
Sasa hapo niko kutafuta do bana. Sasa natafuta kama magnet nyingine kwa 15 minutes.
But let me ask you, don't you think the reason people are challenged by psychology is not really because of the element of the psychology of trading, but rather just because we are poor at managing our minds as humans? For example, if you look at research, like if you just, let's take a context which everyone goes into certain things. For example, most people will at some point be in a relationship. And a relationship requires that you be committed to it. And you stick to some rules and follow them, right? But how many people follow them? About 75% of the people, first of all, cheat.
90. I think it higher. 90.
And a big percentage of the people will still cheat. Why? You want to tell me it's because of CG other things? Yes, you'll justify the reasons, it's because of this. But the primary reason, deep down, it's the fact that there are some primal things that are controlling you, which you don't have control over really. The subconscious. There are some things inside you zinakupush uende to certain points. And in human nature, that's part of being a human. And even those people who don't really struggle not to do it. Come back to finances. Wasiokuwa na do, wasiokuwa do. But how many people are disciplined enough to follow their financial plan? Like plan yangu ilikuwa hii do ndaika hivi. Often jamaa ataona viatu mahali plan imerushwa out of the window.
And you see those two things you're talking about? Those are the two things we normally think we have a good understanding of, and we never think that we should learn them or read or learn a skill about them. Everything else to learn, how to cook, how to engineer, whatever career you learn, but love and money, we somehow believe tunajua. I understand my money.
Don't teach emotion.
I understand those two things. I came to note are the things we normally ignore that we need to put time and understand, but we never do.
In your high school, was there a class on how to handle fear?
How to handle losses.
Even how to be disciplined. The best way to be disciplined was kuchapwa, bro.
So I feel like the main reason actually those things are challenging is because of the psychological nature of the game.
It's tough.
Like it's tough psychologically. Like in trading, ultimately money will gravitate towards the majority. And the minority.
I was wondering what you were saying. Minority, yeah.
And the minority must learn to do away with human tendencies, like basic human tendencies.
Switch.
Ati nimejam sasa naweza fanya boss kwa trading jam uone uta lose jam basi kasirikia market uone utafika wapi. So certain things, like I normally see people doing some things nowadays and I'm just like wow, you don't handle some things wow, at least you don't go through pain for doing certain things. Because if you get mad at the markets, you start trading of your
I know it will get worse.
It's a shit hole.
That's what saying jana usisumbwane na market
bas. So
nayo
the main reason people suffer trading wise is, especially psychologically, is human nature. For you to be a successful trader, you must be on the opposing side of human nature, and it's very difficult for you to move to that side. It's not a very, very easy thing for you to learn to be disciplined, to stick to some rules, to follow some things, to just, those things are hard. They're very, very hard. Very, very hard.
And to one of my few points before we finish, I think I want to see if you guys will relate to it. Sort of opposite. What I'm glad I knew, or rather what we are glad we knew. Number one is that this was my only way to success.
That's so true. If you knew other things,
I knew and believed that this is my only way. Not employment, not going any other way. Work just on this trading. And maybe back then it was a bit delusional, but now it may solidify a few things and it's still my only way to success. Kila mtu akona path yake. But for me,
at that point,
at least
what made you feel like it is the only way? You're 2 months into it. What made you feel it is the only way?
Hey, umeban all the ships bana.
At 2 months. Drop out, umechukua stuff. Hey, make it work.
The ships bana. You have to, it has to work.
It has to work,
Don't
bana.
even make it has to work.
So that was number one. Number two, the fact that at least the people who did not the fact that family and friends were not supporting, I wanted one day to prove them wrong
by proving yourself right.
Exactly. So I have to make it work. It's sort of what you're saying, burning the bridge, the ship. Okay. So at least I knew that I'm going to prove these people one day wrong, and now we're really proving a lot of people wrong. Ken aliombewa, my friends. Ken was brought for people low, and the same people now are telling Ken, you're doing the right thing, continue.
How do you invest?
True. You're proving them wrong. So at least Ken knew
that's
a few years down the line you're going to prove these people wrong. So you knew that ikakupatia resilience. Even if you're failing, you're saying
kuna wasema
nimetoka mbali, kuna wase
kuna dake na jiflani bana, waliniombea juu ya ku
exactly. Number 3, at least we knew that reading and helping will help us grow. Reading and researching. We dropped out of school, but we knew back then that if we put in the time and read and research,
that's so true, yeah.
Itatupeleka mahali. We knew that
we knew
from the
that
start.
we learned something.
And that's why we started reading a lot and researching. And we didn't kuja kwa gurus in the first 2 months of trading, sharing online. We knew it's going to take time.
We took our
so
time.
we knew that we knew
and
to
by
take.
Reading you see the potential of trading. Meaning
Exactly.
Bro,
potential.
Msichana make bro $300 million Buddha. Mimi nikafikiria rasmi niko na $300 million unajua kwa hii Kenya mimi who is who.
Exactly.
Nikasema hii business lazima mimi niingie.
So reading was solidifying that tulijua path to success bado tuta.
You want to give up, but the book you're reading bana inakumotivate.
I don't give up.
Because you know like the journey, like you're not the only one failing. See at these guys were just winning easily and you're not making money.
Yeah, because you could see in market user these guys failed.
So you relate unasema kama wasi pia will fail. This is the journey, you see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gives you some insight
some hope.
Into the journey.
And the last part that at least we knew, it's what we keep discussing. We knew after dropping out and taking this full time, we knew very well that our friends will do what? Graduate before us, get employment before us. Those things for conventional wisdom agrees with. Yeah, as we wameenda through the right path, they're being clapped for, as we're being ridiculed huko. We knew very well that they'll get good jobs before us, get money. But yet too, it will come slowly, and very soon, exponentially. It'll come, then leapfrog. You're wondering, hey, Ras made 10%, which is 5 million.
Okay.
In 1 month, you're like, oh my goodness. You get? So at least those things, and we still took that path. Not though you knew that your friends will graduate before you.
Yeah.
Na watakuwa mbele yako, but you still said okay. But so those are the few pointers I had on. I wish I'm glad I knew. And something that just on another point, Trust, what I heard you saying, Me, I'm a bit different. And we like joking about it a lot. What I wish I did not know that I actually did not. You're saying you wish you knew on your point that you are entering a jungle. Me, I'm glad I was dropped into this jungle. Mi sikujua naingia jungle. Mi jipata ndani ya jungle.
No.
You're getting my point? You see, you said your point. You remember the jungle point you said? You remember? You said you wish you knew that you know this jungle you're going to enter, it's going to be a kajani. Me, at least I didn't know that. Milijipata ndani ya jungle, I have to find a way out.
Only who dropped you into the jungle?
Milijipata, okay, I'm already inside it. Don't kajua, fuck. This thing is going to be harder than I thought.
Also me, I'm with you.
I was already dropped inside the jungle. Niko huko ndani. I'm like, okay.
This stuff serious.
I have to do a couple of things.
I'm already as my point. My point was now I wish I knew I'm getting into a jungle.
Now
okay.
I'm saying
it's making sense.
Now I'm saying I wish at least I did not know that. I found myself inside it. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, so you wish you still comfortable.
I'm still fine. At least I didn't know I'm entering this jungle.
He's different from you. You're saying you wish you knew. Him is okay with not knowing
that I was going to enter into a jungle.
Him, if he knew, you wouldn't do what you've done. You, if you knew, you'd handle it differently, right? You have said you wish
you getting my point? You saying you wish you knew what?
You're going into a jungle.
Going into a jungle.
Him is saying, msiniambie naenda jungle. Niache tu uko kwa jungle.
Me, I'm glad I was dropped. Nijipata huko ndani.
Bas.
Unacheki tuseme mimi niko na wewe hapa. You know kuna hii jungle inaenda kuingia, inaenda kwa crazy.
Like
mimi
right
mimi
now,
nikufuata tu. Mimi hata sikujua kwa serious.
When you teach people, you always say, okay, check it. Do you know what you're starting? Are you even, do you fathom the journey you're going into, right? But now Caleb is saying, me don't tell me those things. Mimi nipeleke tu, niache tu minjipate huko katikati na mteseka. Usiniambie ati naenda kwa jungle.
Na I have to survive huko ndani.
So your point is hauko unajua trading ni ngumu.
Exactly, those things.
Nataki kujua.
Niko glad sikuambiwa hizo vitu.
So your point is you don't wish ungeambiwa.
Maybe I'm fine with not. I don't. That's what I'm saying. What I wish I did not know and actually did not. Only ambiwa kitambo. I remember you came and even told us.
Achana nayo bana.
But also I feel like if you told me that, I would even put more effort into it. Now that's my personality.
I was also thinking about that in terms of, okay, if someone told me, because pia mimi napenda challenges. Si ati umse ataniambia unajua stuff ni tough nianze kusema si happy challenge. But look Taras. Kwanza those thinking about it is like ungepatiwa Taras. Now instead of being told kuna this supernatural way inakusaidia you go through all those emotions. Upitie, you don't know the reward. Upitie to the pain, you're feeling how hard it is, how painful you're losing money. Natoka hivi kwa your stuff. It's okay. Acha nitafute journey. It's a horror.